Hey there, Stationery Squad and Inky friends. Welcome back to my channel. This is Kristen Creates. Today, we are looking at currently inked for August. It's been a busy few weeks here in the rabbit hole. Getting school started is always fun, but there's a lot of work that goes into it. So it's been a little bit since I've had a chance to sit down and play with pen and inks, and I'm a little rusty at this recording thing, so bear with me today. But if this is your first time here, hey, so glad you are here in the rabbit hole with me. If you believe that a great pen and a good notebook can change your life, or at least your to-do list, you're in the right place. I can't remember if I already said it, but we are going to be looking at some new pen and ink pairings for August. I've got some old favorites and a couple of new pens to look at. But before we get into August, let's take a look back at July. And you can tell that it's been a busy month because it's only been a few pages I was able to do in my ink journal. Most months I do a lot, but not in July and early August. So this is July's palette. And if you watch that video, you know we went with a coastal preppy Lily Pulitzer vibe, and it was super fun to have all of these bright colors and play with them. Just very, very summery. So I just wanted to do a quick review, make a couple of notes on things, and share with you how it went. So the first color that we had was a Mano Asagiri and a Jinhao 10 red. I don't have that pen to show you anymore because I gave it away. The little Jinhaos are so great for enabling people. I think I've bought 3 or 4 at this point as gifts. And a coworker who is a fountain pen user but hadn't had a Jinhao yet, her pen ran out of ink right in front of me, and I said, here you go, try this one. And she really liked it. And I said, you can keep it. So an excuse to buy a new one for me, I guess. But before I gave it away, it was a great combo. So I am going to give that pairing an 8. The next pairing that we had was the Twsbi 580 in, I think this one is Prussian blue, with the Kirkspear cursive smooth italic grind nib and the Pannonia Sunset. You can see this one is almost completely empty. It was a beautiful color. I am just constantly impressed by Pannonia inks and saying I need to get more in my collection. I am going to give this combo a 9. Next up, we had the Kikuyo with Potpourri that just needed a little bit less so I could empty a bottle. I will say Kikuyo for an $11 pen, you just rock. But Potpourri, I was thinking I was going to buy a full bottle of it, but I forgot how dry and kind of watery it is. So it may be off the full bottle candidate list. I think I'm going to give that one a 7. Then we had our Bone Crusher 7 Studios Phoenix Ashes pen. I mean, I still am looking at this. I'm mesmerized by the shimmer. Even 8 weeks, 2 weeks, I don't know how long it's been, almost 2 months. I would have re-inked this, except I know I'm going to have it heavy in the rotation with these colors in fall. So we're giving it a break. It was inked with Gerben Coral de Tropiques. Is a great coral color. So that one also gets a 9. Leonardo Aster with Pannonia Aster. Great, great combo. Ink flowed really well on the wet side like I like it. No problems with the pen. I probably would have inked it up if I didn't have a new Leonardo that we'll see in a few minutes. I'm almost sad now that I'm holding it that I didn't ink it up. We'll see. Okay, so that combo also gets a 9. Then we had the Laban 325 with BPC Robin's Egg. This was a little bit of a rollover from late June, so I finished it out. It's a great combo. I've come to terms with this big cap. I really do like this pen. I'm being a very generous grader right now. I'm going to say that one is an 8 just because I have some better teals. I replaced this Jinhao with another Jinhao teal. It's actually at my office because it's my emergency pen. When pens run out of ink, I always have one at the office with some Pilot Iroshizuku Kujaku, you know, that color cartridges. So I am always ready, at least at work. So that combo is great. All right, my miss for the month. For the first time, I wasn't 100% happy with the 3776 Bluebird. It was inked with Colorverse Wolf Points. Now, we know that this pen has been a stunner, has gotten 10s across the board for the last 3 months. So I am not blaming the pen, I'm blaming the ink. Or maybe it was too much shimmer. We'll see with the next ink. I don't know if the camera is picking up, but this one really is a big shimmer fest. And I kind of forgot about it. So I'm calling that one a 6. Then we had Pilot 912 with Sailor Vermont. I love this pen. It's great flex, the Falcon nib. I will say that the Sailor Vermont also wrote a little dry. I had more railroading with this color than I have ever had with this pen and any other inks. So that was a little bit of a disappointment. So it also gets a 6. Again, ink's fault, not pen. And this is why we do things. And then the last one that we had was the Blue Quasar Sailor Pro Gear Slim with the music nib loaded up with Van Diemen's Sea Dragon. Now, in hindsight, a bright color with a big old nib was very difficult for me to find uses. I like the big nib for headings. I love bright inks, but maybe not together. Together, they were just a little too much. They flowed well, played nice with each other. It was a total personal preference. So I think the color would be great in a finer nib and the broader heading kind of music nib. I just need a color I'm more comfortable with to have those thick of letters, if that makes sense. I'm going to give that one a 7 and all sorts of lessons learned. I think that's one of my favorite things about fountain pens is that is so much variety and tweaking and playing. You really get a chance to fine tune your writing preferences with fountain pens. Once you really get to know your preferences, and you will, if you're just starting out here, you're like, I can't tell the difference between a wet and a dry ink. I mean, it's liquid, so obviously it's wet. But trust me, a couple of years down, and the more pens or the more inks and combinations you try, you really get to feel for what you like. And then sometimes you'll go back to it. And I think it was Simona on Simone channel who said we go in eras. So right now she's in her feedback era and I'm in my, I want it smooth, smooth, smooth. I don't want feedback. So it's just kind of interesting. All right. So let's jump in to August. The kind of pre-setup here is going to give you a hint at the theme for the month. After having such bright colors in July, I was like, well, I need a little bit more subtle. It's also my birthday this month. And so I don't know, I was kind of like in the birthday princess mode. I kind of went with a birthday sparkles daydreamy theme this month. If that's such a thing, I don't know. There you go. Birthday sparkle drinks. Why not? It's my party. I can draw if I want to. Let's start with the first birthday treat pen. So I bought this pen as a treat yourself birthday present to myself in 2022. This is the Twsbi 580 Iris in a fine nib. It's inked up this month with Mano, haha, which is a beautiful chroma shader we'll see here in a second. I will never forget, like, looking on websites that I don't shop at anymore and thinking, $80 for a pen? That's crazy. I was so protective of this pen for the first year that I had it. I mean, went back and forth with it every night. I was happy with 2 fountain pens, this one and an Eco, for 2 years. I didn't buy any pens. I was really sticking to you just need 1 fountain pen. Well, let's take a closer look at Manu, haha. So I've got my Kakimori brass nib in a nib holder from the Ink Addict, not the Ink Addict, from the Pen Addict. And I think this is Turnt Penco and a River City collab. So three cool dudes combined. Kind of going with the dreamy feel here. Dama no Haha is a fun kind of chromo shader shading ink. So it's got some blues, some purples, sometimes might see, I think, a little bit of green. I think I also want to play with my water brush a little bit today just to see if we can get some of this shading in. My sweet friend Erica, Real Talk with Riri, great podcast. If you are a planner, entertaining on Sunday nights, sent me some rating stickers with the note on the back. Can you rate your inks? Of course, I'm going to rate some inks. So I'm going to set up this page for when we come back and do our month end, and I'll have to adjust my scale from 10 to 5. Okay, next pen and ink combo. Well, let's just stick with the 580s. So like I said, I stuck with 2 pens for 2 years. And then a coworker who I gave the Jinhao to mentioned something about a local fine art supply store having fountain pens. And that's when it was game over, friends. Once I was able to go and see and hold all the pens, I started buying a lot of pens, including this one. I think this was the next one because I was like, okay, I know 580s are great. I know they write well, and I want a medium nib. Although I do think there's something up with this nib. I need to reset it. Being a little gushy. And in this one is Giaban Bouquet d'Anta, which is a lovely soft pink. I don't know why I started writing on the other page, so I didn't just write it in here. But, sometimes you got to do things a little different because life is about mixing it up, right? Up next is the Bluebird. Now, you'd think that after having a month of shimmer issues, the smart person would skip the shimmer and just give the pen a rest. In hindsight, that's probably what I should have done. But I'm not that smart. Or I don't think ahead that much. It's like, this is the color I want to use, and this is the pen that matches the most. So in the Bluebird this month is Diamine's Mint Twist. It's a lovely, soft, minty green, and it is jam-packed with shimmer as well. So it'll be a good test for the 3776. This will know if it was Wolf Point that was the issue or if the pen just can't do shimmer. Pretty shimmery. Isn't that so pretty? Look at that. This was one of my favorites from the 2024 InkFit calendar. And I got to get on using all the colors. Otherwise, I can't buy next year's. And that would be sad because I just had so much fun with the process of going through each one. But if I don't actually use them throughout the year, then that's an inexpensive way to have fun. All right. I paused there and went back and wrote the names on this side too because Don't you think they should go there next? So here it is. I know I just mentioned that I put the other Leonardo Aster away, that I've got a new Leonardo. I was trying to be really good. But Atlas had the 4th of July sale, and this one with the rose gold trim was there, and it was on sale, and I only had a little bit more money to go to get to the next tier, which means more discounts. So I took the plunge. Bought this one. This is a Memento Magico in the Amethyst. I really like, this has been on my pen wish list all year, so it was not a spontaneous buy, unlike some other things. And the Aster had just jumped over it. And while I love the Aster, I was still having thoughts about this pen. And, pen friend at the meetup had it, and I was like, oh yeah, I still want that one too. So it is loaded up with Dominant Industry Lavender Pearl. Just a nice, soft purple, dreamy purple with a pearlescent cover. So can you see that? And that is a lot of shimmy dimmy dimmer in there. So we're gonna give that a mixaroo. Is this giving Party Princess vibes or what? I mean, am I turning 53? Yes. But I can still have Party Princess 4-year-old vibes in my pens if I want to. Who's to say? Too much color. Whoopsies. That's going to take a while to dry and wash out all the pearliness to it, but oh well. All of this is a big experiment. There's nothing, no wrong answers, no wrong way to do things, except for one, and I'll talk about that in a minute. When I don't get things straight. Which is funny because I never get them straight. All right, how are we doing on space? Okay. Then last year's birthday rolled around. So I'm deep in my fountain pen hole and buying pens on the regular. Discovered all the online shops and my local, visiting my local one on a regular basis. And at my local one, I picked up for my birthday last year, Esterbrook SD Funky Lake. And I believe this one is also a fine because I find the Esterbrook one's pretty broad for a fine or for a medium. So I went with a fine. I don't know if you saw the release of the Esterbrook, the latest SDs. I will take the 70s back to the land from last year over the latest release is like bright neon, 80s, 90s neon. Ooh, too much for me. Give me back to the land all day. And in it is Elliot Bay from the Wet Pen. I thought that a funky lake needed to meet the bay. This pen definitely gives like Pacific Northwest vibes, which I'm always down for because I love that area. And at which point I will say, hi, Mom, who lives in that area. And there's a funny thing about the Wet Pen. I got this order. It's my first time ordering from them. I've gotten some samples from the last drop and very surprised that It came from the same town where my mom is. So shout out to Renton. So now this looks like your basic bee blue, but don't be fooled because it has some cool shading properties that turn it from a basic bee blue. So just watch it dry down. Give it a chance. You see already the hints of green. I don't know. Up next, we have the Sailor Pro Gear, and every rose has its thorn. It's rose gold trim, and it is a medium nib. This was my second gold pen. I love this. This is in my top 5 of pens for sure, but it did ruin the Pro Gear Slim. So Sailors are expensive. Gold nib, price of gold is your left foot. They're expensive, but Sailor frequently, or shops frequently put the Pro Gear Slims on sale-ish, but rarely have I found a Pro Gear, and the difference between the two makes a world of difference how it feels in my hand. I almost can't go back to the Pro Gear Slims now. I won't buy anymore because I know I'll just save my money for a Pro Gear. And it's linked up with Diamine Icy Lilac. I can't believe that I haven't paired these two together because they are such a good match. And Icy Lilac is another of the ink vents. You're going to see a lot of inks in my pens between now and October, so I can justify buying the next one. Icy Lilac is a beautiful gray, blue, purple, I guess. Not quite sure how to describe it. The last pen is this beautiful Opus 88 Coloro in pink and white. It's kind of launched this whole palette of birthday sparkles. Just so beautiful. I got this secondhand from Kimberly around the world and the internet, as all the hobbies was in town and came to our pen meetup. Now, remember when I said there are no mistakes? Well, one mistake you can make is forgetting to rinse a pen, especially a secondhand pen, before you ink it up with an ink that you only have a very small sample of. Whoopsies. So this is inked up with Wearing Gold 12th Night. It is an eyedropper. It's super cool. But as you'll see when we do the writing sample, it's not going to be this color. And normally I would just shoot myself for the mistake, empty out the pen, and reload it. I only had one fill of the 12th night, so I can't reload it. This is what I've got. So we've got this whatever color was in here before, and I'm sure Kimberly did a great job of cleaning it out. There's just some colors that just stick around and you think they're clean, and then you add something into it, and all of a sudden, guess what? So definitely not Kimberly's fault. Totally mine for not good pen maintenance. This has a 1.1 Franklin Christoph nib on it. So that was an extra special treat. 2. Oh no. I'm probably going to have to empty this out because now it's almost black. Oh, the lessons we learn in fountain pen world. When I was testing it, it was like a nice brown that kind of matched with the palette, but now it's crossing over into too dark brown. Oh well. Maybe I'll just go with it. It's not awful. Oh my gosh, I've done a horrible job at writing down my nibs this time. And we're just going to call this ink mix 12th night and question. Probably some sort of black or brown, maybe. Let's see. I'm going to see if I can find the bottle to see if there's just at least enough that I could get a little swatch in here. Probably not. When we say it's empty, it's empty, 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 empty. The Atlas sidewalk sale is coming up, and I have this one on my wish list, also on my birthday wish list for my husband or anybody else that wants to buy me something, because it would be absolutely perfect if this was the color that it was. It's a good reminder that many companies, even if you buy them new, test ink their pens, or there's oils and things in them. So you really should always rinse your pen out before you put ink in it, especially if you buy it secondhand. You should definitely give it a good clean. Will be a good reminder for me, and I probably won't forget that for a while. Okay, so I think everybody is pretty much dry, and look at how beautiful they are. So we've got our Manuahaha, and you can see some of this really nice purple sheen, or not sheen, the purple and blue chromo shading coming together. The Twsbi 580 pink Bouquet d'Antan, just good solid pastel pink. And can you see any shimmer? Come on, camera. Pick it up, pick it up. There we go. A little bit of shimmer in the mint twist. And the pearl is dry, and you can see how much kind of that pearlescent shading comes across there. And remember I said that Elliot Bay is not going to stay a basic B blue. So look how cool it is. And then we've got Icy Lilac also with a little bit of, see how it was really blue going down, and now we've just got, and it's still blue, but it's a cool leaning blue. And then there's what 12th Night should be. Yeah, so when I get that bottle, we'll fix that. I might put a different color in. We'll see if I can live with the brown or not. Well, there we have it. There is my birthday sparkly dreamy palette. I hope it brings you your inner 4-year-old girl happiness. And I think it's going to be really fun to play with this month. Until next time, keep that ink on the fingers and keep being awesome. Bye for now.